one of the problems that we are having. In opposition, politicians promise to be tough on crime and the causes of crime. When they get into government, they realize how tough it is to deal with criminal elements. A big thing is that police in Trinidad are now hiding from criminals. That's according to Prime Minister Rowley.
Police officers whose job it is to protect us and to secure us in some districts at night are so afraid of the criminals that they close the police station door, turn off the light, and be inside there hoping that the criminals don't come at them.
Is a very, very serious matter. But how did we get here? That is the point, and that is all that we need to flesh out. How did we get here? How do we eradicate that? It says fearful police officers hiding in stations from criminals. If police are hiding from criminals, locking up their stations and hiding from criminals, then the state is already gone. The state is gone, as in gone. Yesterday, somebody emailed me and told me, listen, the way things are, it looks like it's a failed state based on what the Prime Minister is saying. He says some police officers are now pretending to close the stations to hide from criminals. Guys, you got to leave your comments in the section below. How did we get here? What's happening here? He made the comment yesterday as the Parliament debated the rationale for the state of emergency and a further 3-month extension to it in separate motions. The Prime Minister said criminals had become so brazen that they believe they can, without fear, shoot and kill even the police. Well, if we get to a state where criminals are so brazen that they can actually shoot the police, they don't care. They could just shoot them without fear or even kill them. So when officers are in the police stations, it has come to my attention in some districts, in some instances, police officers whose job it is to protect us and secure us, in some districts at night are so afraid of the criminals that they close the police station door, turn off the light, and be inside there hoping that the criminals do not come to them. Rowley revealed. This is damning statement. This is a damning statement. How did we get to a place where police officers are afraid of criminals? How did we get to that state? Those things should only happen in countries where there's just absolute lawlessness. You see some of those countries like in the Middle East, there's really no government control. It's just militia groups running these countries. In Africa, some of them are just militia. A lot of militia own portions of here, own portions of there. Is that what you're saying, that Trinidad has become like that? Because if police are locking up in the station and afraid, it means that the state has become like that. It seems like people, no matter what you say, are owning portions of it. So the police are hiding. He added, when citizens identifying themselves as lawbreakers choose as their place of attack to be in front of a police station inside the city and to carry out an attack using the most sophisticated killer weapons, it tells you they have no regard for law enforcement. Again, the question is, where are these guns coming from? We're not debating it enough. Are we putting a clamp down on these things? Are they coming at the port, the airports? Are they coming in barrels when people get barrels from overseas? Are they coming in containers for people who own businesses? Are they coming at different inlets? Like you can't manage the whole seascape. Are they coming at different points? And this is what you need to tackle, because Trinidad do not produce guns, and we're not hearing enough discussion surrounding those things. He said this led to the belief that regular laws are not sufficient to treat with the harshness of the criminal. Leave your comments in the section below. He lamented the difficulty his government has faced in dealing with murderers. The bottom line is this society has been under attack from a criminal element which we have not been able to suppress, Rowley said. That again is very, very, very dangerous. We're going down there. Sounds to me as if you're ready to move in and clamp down, and this is good. If the army and the police is ready to move in, clamp down, that is good for me. Knowledge, however, that some people believe solving crime is a straightforward task. No, it's not. And all of these governments in the Caribbean experiencing this crime wave right now. And one of the things I don't get is when politicians promise in opposition, and this is one of the problems that we are having. In opposition, politicians promise to be tough on crime and the causes of crime. When they get into government, they realize how tough it is to deal with criminal elements, and then they seem to say, let's blame other people, not take responsibility. And this is the problem we are having with especially governments in the Caribbean. I know there are some people who believe this is easy to get rid of, but it was so easy to get rid of we would have gotten rid of it already, but instead what we're seeing is the cancer is spreading. Of course, it's a cancer in our society. He reiterated that reasons for the SOE were outlined in the president's declaration. Those were over 60 murders in December and to deal with the threat of public safety from gangs and reprisal attacks. At the point, the government, whatever reluctance we had with respect to SOE, we had to intervene. The government had to intervene, the prime minister said. This is a worrying thing happening here in Trinidad and Tobago. If police are actually hiding from criminal elements, that's a serious problem. That is something that we have to deal with like ASAP. And why are the police hiding hasn't gotten this bad? I mean, how are criminal elements able to do that sort of operation where police are fearful for their lives? How did we get to this state? And I don't think it is time really to cast blame, because blame won't get us anywhere. It is time to ask tough questions, present tough answers, and deal with the problem. Blame at this point won't get anybody anywhere, whether it's the government or the opposition. This is time for tough questions, tough answers, tough movements in terms of dealing with the situation. All right. So let me hear from you, your comments in the section below.